Morning, people. How you going? Having a good morning. I was sort of half woke up, but I got to get this done today. Uh, Topic today is film and book reviews. Interesting, self-explanatory as well, that people watch movies and read books and then write reviews about them, which is a good way to practice your English, your grammar, your collocations, which I will show in here for you. The first movie is called Larissa. Larissa is an excellent film. It tells the story of what happens when a young woman decides to try to find out what really happened to her grandmother, who disappeared in Russia in the 1930s under mysterious circumstances. As the suspense builds up, Larissa sets off an amazing chain of events. It's an incredibly gripping film, and its direction shows startling originality. I haven't seen the movie. Suspense builds up. It's a good way to describe how you start to get into the movie, and the suspense, as it says, builds up and it becomes more gripping to watch. Amazing chain of events. Things happen. She starts something, then something else happens again after that. And a startling originality, which means the movie was very original. For these days is quite a good thing because so many of the movies are just the same. I'll keep going. It was certainly a bold experiment to cast Jenny Adams as a woman twice her age, but Jenny is a very accomplished actor and a consummate professional, and she carried it off brilliantly. And the rest of the star-studded cast gave a dazzling display of their talents too. The film, which documents an extraordinary series of events, was spectacularly successful in the US. The New York Times gave it glowing reviews, and not without good reason. There's some other reviews in here that you can find in our classroom, and I'll let you find them and have a look through them yourself. Expressions such as hold your attention, a lasting impression, awakened my interest, all-star cast. All of these collocations are awesome if you want to start writing your own reviews. You see students and they'll write, okay, I watched Titanic, it was very good, I cried. This is when you start to need to try and challenge yourself with your writing. Hold your attention, which means you cannot stop watching it. So it's a good description of how you felt when you watched the movie, right? Evoke an atmosphere, so it makes an atmosphere. Again, if you want to challenge your English and get better, these sort of collocations are something that you need to have a look at developing yourself, right? There's some exercises that you can go through and do. Just here in Australia, I just wanted to let you know if you're coming to Australia and you're interested in Australian movies. Very famous one, which I watched again the other night, probably everyone knows, is Crocodile Dundee, about an Aussie guy. Very Aussie, probably a lot more Aussie than I'll ever be. Lives up north, hunts crocodiles, uses knives, understands how to live off the land. But it makes you feel as an Aussie, it's like, okay, am I really Aussie? This is what we are portrayed as. None of us do that really. There are obviously some, but to live off the land is something that you really want to learn how to do if you want to be a real Aussie, right? So that typical Australian image is something that a lot of people think that it's how we live, but not really, right? The Castle, it's a funny movie. It's got a lot of Australian humour in it. It's just about a family who lives under the flight path, lives right next to an airport, and the government tries to move them from their land, and they try and stop being told what to do. But it's just funny. It's a funny movie. It's got a lot of Australian humour. I've watched it with some of my friends from other countries. They're like, man, your humour sucks. But anyway, for an Aussie, it's very funny. One other one, Wolf Creek. Wolf Creek. It's actually based on a true story. I don't want to scare all you backpackers out there, but it was about some backpackers who went travelling in the outback and were kidnapped by a crazy guy. Some of them escaped, I think. But yeah, it sort of shows again parts of Australia which I've never been to, out the outback, and no phone reception. There's no people around. Again, it's a pretty interesting movie. So Wolf Creek, The Castle, and Crocodile Dundee. If you want a bit of a sort of a mix of Australian movies, there's some that I recommend. But anyway, have a look at this. Do the exercises because you'll find that there's some really good vocabulary and collocations in here. And I'll put it on our classroom. It's called Film and Book Reviews. Read through it, maybe write your own. You should be writing your own book review or your movie review, and then we can have a chat about it together. All right, have a good day. Peace.